Hello, dear Pisces. I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your February 2022 horoscope. And by February 18th, I get to wish you a very happy birthday. But until then, we're going to talk about what the first part of February holds. And we have Venus going direct. It's already direct. It went direct on the 29th of January. It'll be in shadow most of the month. However, it is going to start moving things forward as you progress into your birthday time. This is for your Pisces sun, moon, or rising sign. And what this can do is activate a lot of social connections where you get to be very stabilized. If you felt as though some of the groups or some of the audience in which you were trying to connect with, maybe people were clamoring to be with you, or they couldn't quite figure out why you weren't as easily or readily available to them. Now with Venus direct, you have opportunities to be able to share your gifts and maybe even your hopes and wishes being fulfilled during this month, especially if you've been doing that work behind the scenes. If there has been some sort of financial, romantic, or value added piece that you just weren't able to make a lot of progress, you were doing that reevaluation. When a planet goes retrograde, we have a tendency to do the RE words, actions, qualities. And with Venus here, which affects our finances and our relationships and our values, you may have been reevaluating, what do I really value in my friends, in that 11th house energy? It may be, what do I value as far as who I socialize with? How do I show up for them? Or I'm putting together this project behind the scenes and I really am ready now to share it with the world now that Venus is direct. We have a new moon in Aquarius on the very first calendar day of February, and that is going to be activating your 12th house, possibly drawing you in just a little bit further. But I think you're going to be comfortable here where you get to find some unusual ways in which to connect with that inner guru, that wisdom inside of you. Also, finding some ways in which you might do some studying or research around some unusual subject matters, and even having opportunities to go into an alternative kind of spiritual practice, or suddenly having these ahas coming through your dream state, through your creative process, and setting those intentions to be able to implement them and share them with others, especially in your social circle, as Venus and now Mars is also in this 11th house, and Mercury as well. So there's a lot of activity here of that 11th house giving you a lot of magnetism, a lot of assertion. Maybe there's some compromising that needed to take place that now you can. I see you really doing a lot of marketing and advertising if this was a project-based thing. It also can show others what you really love. There can be this beautiful competition, but a healthy competition where maybe you win a competition, if you will, and some sort of accolade, award, that sort of thing could be showing up this month. Personally, when we're talking about relationships, if you are Pisces and you're not attached to anybody and you're not even dating, that this is a time where socializing and putting yourself out there can bring you a romantic partner and someone who sees your charm, who sees that beautiful creativity that lives inside of you, that compassion, healing. Always the caveat for Pisces: do be careful how much you give, because you can be an overgiver and you may find yourself being attracted to someone who needs rescuing. But if you've been doing that work, that internal dialogue, that internal work of rescuing yourself first, then really doing that self-love and care, you can find yourself attracted to someone who maybe they have also done similar work, and your friends or your groups that you're associated with can create the environment for you to meet this person. If you're attached to someone, you may find yourself ready to step out on the stage with your beloved, to be able to socialize with them and go to these parties and just have some deeper connection with them through your socializing and through maybe some humanitarian or charitable work that you're both involved in. I see this also being a time where you really take the things like healing and compassion and how to bring your creative gifts out into the world. You can take them very seriously. And especially if you're working together, if you're bonded working together on projects, this is a very fruitful time. We have the sun canoodling with Saturn February 3rd as well as February 4th. And this provides a real serious but productive tone to the things that you're wanting to accomplish behind the scenes. So if you and let's say a professional partner come up with some creative ideas, I can see on a collective level that we're going to have some pretty big announcements coming out at the end of the month into March with, let's say, Hollywood and the theater. And so blockbuster movies, if you will, for the summer. I sense there'll be quite a few creatives working behind the scenes in the month of February to make their announcements at the end of February, 1st of March. How it affects you personally, though, is that you may find yourself with someone personal or professional working behind the scenes to come up with ways that have long-term results, that offer healing, that offer wisdom, that also offer a greater insight into maybe some hidden or collective energy that was unspoken before, but now you have words to it or you have visions to it. I'm mentioning this because Jupiter is now in your sign and will stay there till May, and then it will go into Aries, which it will then retrograde back into your sign later in the year. I'll talk about that on a separate video. However, for now, I feel like it's important to put that pin on the map because Jupiter is the planet of expansion, good luck, fortune, blessings, the teacher, the guru, if you will. And here in your sign, it's all about what we have faith and hope in. It's about being able to see things from an esoteric perspective. And that, for you, Pisces, is beautiful because it can drop in all these abstract pieces that you can disseminate through your beautiful creative abilities and offer great insight and healing to the world. Some of you Pisces will go into practices like therapy. You become that therapist, or you will become the teacher, the spiritual teacher. You may end up taking yourself on a long trip or preparing for a long trip that has a spiritual quality to it, a healing quality to it. Those of you Pisces who have been harmed in the past through relationships or through betrayal or some of those more shadow side of things where maybe you overgave and you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not rescuing another person. This is a beautiful month for you to prepare yourself to do that deeper healing work. Mercury will station direct on the 4th, and it is in your 11th house right now. So if you have withheld certain conversations, certain decisions around what groups do I belong to, or who do I share this with, or what friend, maybe there's been some dynamics with friends that have felt a little wonky. Mercury stationing direct here with the sun canoodling with Saturn gives you some good opportunity moving forward to have those deeper, bigger conversations. And that now it shouldn't feel so misunderstood on either party. The fogginess can lift, the internal dialogue can soften, and you can have some of those more powerful conversations, especially with Mercury and Pluto canoodling on the 11th in your 11th house. I sense that you may have to sit down, and one of the teachings and vows and practices that I do at Nine Gates Mystery School is what's called conscious speech. It's based on nonviolent communication and deeper work there. And you may find yourself in this power struggle with a particular friend or a group, and you've held off on making a decision or communicating decisions. Now with Mercury and Pluto canoodling on the 11th in your 11th house, you may decide that now's the time for that deeper conversation and taking it very seriously. How do we work together? How do we put long-term plans in place? I will also say that it's possible that someone in a position of power in charge of a group that you're part of could be exiting in some way. And you may be thrust into making a decision about whether or not you want to step into that role. Mercury re-enters Aquarius, activating that 12th house on Valentine's Day. Yes, the day we all declare love and pay more than we should for roses and chocolate, but I digress. Mercury in Aquarius in that 12th house could find you doing some research. Maybe you're being asked to take on a role that's a bit unusual and you need time to prepare for that. And you need to expand your mind and you need to be able to offer ideas and have conversations maybe behind the scenes during this time. And you can draw to you some information through your dream state, through meditation, and through speaking with a mentor or a teacher. Full moon in Leo on the 16th, it activates that 12th and 6th house. So if there has been a particular addiction or health issue that you've been wrestling with, this full moon in Leo could find you in a place where you finally are able to release it and you get the help that you need. And coming from that heart center, it may be that a few of you Pisces start working with others who have addictions, or you start leading a group like AA, or you start taking on opportunities to help people with their mental health, things like that, or physical. When we're dealing with that sixth house, you may finally see an uptick in your clientele if that is the kind of business you're in. So do be prepared for quite a bit of activity second half of the month, especially when the sun enters your first house in Pisces. It enters your sign. And so it's going to energize and activate you and give you this wonderful ability to share your creativity, to get creative in problem solving or in the healing arts or anything that just lets you express yourself in this beautiful, gentle way. I will say, Pisces, especially with the sun in this first house, your magnetism, your personality should shine. So if you're waiting until, say, after the full moon, if you're single, Pisces, to meet somebody, when the sun enters your sign, get out there and socialize, circulate. If you were waiting for, let's say, some sort of beautification, changing your hair, cosmetic surgery, anything like that, this is a great time to do it. Treat yourself for your birthday. If you're in a bonded relationship, this is also the second half of the month, is a great time to get away with your beloved, go on a trip, especially if there's anything to do with water, because you're a water sign. Get to the beach, go on a cruise, set sail, go in kayaks together, whatever it might be. But definitely give yourself a little bit of creative break if you feel there's a block somewhere during this month, because that's where the Mercury and Pluto canoodling could create a little bit of a power struggle inside of yourself where you get creatively blocked. And I think that's really difficult for someone like you. So get yourself out of town, get yourself out of your normal office space or your normal day-to-day routine, shake it up a little bit, and you'll find that block can be removed, because you're going to be inspiring people. How do you live your best life? How do you show up for yourself? This is all the good work that the month of February can offer to you. Yes, it is about self-love, self-care. We want that. But I feel as though, Pisces, this is about you receiving a lot of awards, accolades, people coming out of the woodwork, maybe even surprising you to say, I want you to see and know the impact, the positive impact you've made on my life, or the positive impact your work has on your life, or the way in which you as a couple show up. And it's so healing and it's so beautiful. Do watch out, Pisces, for too much flattery and falling for that, because that has a tendency to make all of us believe something, put rose-colored glasses on and go, yes, I'd like to go down this path because it's shiny and new and it's pretty and, everybody loves me. But do keep your feet firmly planted on the ground, ask good questions, vet things out. But this is a great month for making decisions, especially second half of the month, decisions that are heart-centered, that have a positive inspirational impact on your life. I see a lot of you Pisces releasing some form of healing work out into the world. So if you have considered adding a complement to the work you already do that offers maybe an alternative healing, or it offers added value, it's a great month for you to make sure you have everything in place and then share it with others, because the time is going to come in March and April where your income gets boosted, where the things that you value become even more energized. And I will offer that now's the time to do that planning behind the scenes of like, when this abundance hits me, how do I manage it? And you can draw in your partner into that conversation, or if you're single, bring in that support, the professional support, those friends around you. I see a few of you Pisces dealing with, we'll call it imposter syndrome or self-doubt, where it's like, do I deserve to sit at this table? Do that internal work at the beginning of the month. Remind yourself, here's all the things I've accomplished. This is what I do really well. And this is why I deserve to sit at the table. And remember too, Pisces, I get this intuitive hit. Sometimes saying no is saying yes. And that's because you're setting healthy boundaries. And that's not always easy for a Pisces to do. So get really clear. What are my boundaries? And then communicating them, because boundaries are for the individual, not for the other person. You have to know where you stop, where you start, and then you share that with another so that then they can trust and feel safe with you. But you have to feel safe with yourself first. That's where the boundaries come in. All right, Pisces, I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Come find me at jamiedawn.com. I look forward to hearing how your month is. Take care.